Imagine a plant so powerful that an entire empire declared it illegal under the penalty of death. A grain so dense in nutrients that it contains more bioavailable protein than a prime cut of beef, and yet most of the modern world has never even seen it on a dinner plate. For centuries, we have been conditioned to believe that corn, wheat, and soy are the inevitable foundations of human civilization. We are told they are the pinnacle of agricultural evolution, the crops that save the world from hunger. But there is a secret hidden in the blood-stained shadows of history, a forbidden seed that was systematically erased from the face of the earth to make way for a crop that was easier to control, easier to tax, and far more profitable for those in power. Today, we are reopening the forgotten archives of the Americas to uncover the truth about the illegal native grain. This is not just a story about a plant. It is a story about the biological engineering of the human race through the food we were forced to eat. To understand why this grain was banned, we have to look at the global landscape of the modern diet. Today, the world is built on corn. It is in our bread, our fuel, our meat, and our medicine. We have bred corn for volume, for sweetness, and for industrial efficiency. But from a biological perspective, corn has a dark side. It is a crop designed for energy, not for vitality. Corn is notoriously low in essential amino acids, specifically lysine and tryptophan. When a civilization is forced to rely solely on corn as its primary fuel source, it undergoes a physiological transformation. Diets dominated by cornstarch lead to a population that is physically soft, prone to metabolic disease, and most importantly, for a colonizing force, easy to govern. A population fueled by starch is a population that experiences spikes in insulin and crashes in energy. They are tired, they are hungry, and they are compliant. The colonists knew this. When they arrived in the New World, they didn't just see a new landscape. They saw a source of indigenous strength that they had to break at the genetic level. Enter the amaranth. To the Aztecs, the Incas, and the Maya, amaranth was known as the golden grain. In their eyes, it was not just food, it was a sacred technology. It was the blood of the earth. While corn was grown for bulk, amaranth was grown for the warrior class and the priesthood. Why? Because amaranth is what scientists call a pseudo-cereal. Unlike corn, wheat, or rice, it does not belong to the grass family. It is a broad-leafed powerhouse. Biologically, amaranth is a complete protein. It contains all 9 essential amino acids that the human body cannot produce on its own. This is incredibly rare in the plant kingdom. On a gram-for-gram basis, certain varieties of amaranth contain nearly 3 times the usable, bioavailable protein found in beef, but without the inflammatory fats, the hormones, or the massive industrial footprint of cattle ranching. When the Spanish conquistadors, led by Hernán Cortés, witnessed the Aztec festivals, they didn't just see paganism. They saw a level of physical endurance and cognitive clarity in the indigenous population that terrified them. The Aztecs would mix ground amaranth seeds with honey and, occasionally, ritual blood to create statues of their gods, which they would then consume. The Catholic Church and the Spanish crown saw this communion as a direct threat to their control. In 1519, the cultivation of amaranth was declared a crime against God. The Inquisition made the penalty for growing the grain clear. If you were caught with amaranth seeds, your fields were burned and your hands were cut off. In many regions, the punishment was death. This was the first great biological erasure in history. The dark, nutrient-dense amaranth fields were systematically razed and replaced with vast, endless monocultures of maize. The goal was simple: destroy the sacred connection between the people and their source of physical strength. By forcing the survivors onto a corn-only diet, the colonists effectively engineered a massive nutritional bottleneck, leading to the rise of diseases like pellagra, a horrific deficiency of niacin and protein that decimated indigenous communities for centuries. But the protein content is only half of the story. Modern science has recently discovered something in amaranth that the colonists could never have understood: squalane. Squalane is a rare, highly prized organic compound, usually harvested from the livers of deep-sea sharks. It is a powerful antioxidant and a critical component of the human immune system. It aids in the oxygenation of the blood and protects the heart from oxidative stress. Amaranth is the richest plant source of squalane in the world. Think about the implications. The Aztec warriors weren't just eating grain. They were eating a heart-protective, immune-boosting, oxygen-enhancing superfuel. This gave them the ability to thrive at high altitudes and maintain peak physical performance under extreme stress. By banning amaranth, the colonists weren't just suppressing a religion, they were removing a high-performance biohack from the human gene pool. You can burn the fields, and you can cut off the hands of the farmers, but you cannot kill a seed that has survived for 5,000 years. For centuries, amaranth was forced into the shadows. It survived in the remote, vertical mountain villages of the Andes and the hidden valleys of Mexico. It grew as a weed in the cracks of the colonial empire, waiting for its time to return. Interestingly, amaranth is one of the most resilient plants on the planet. It is a C4 plant, meaning it has a specialized method of photosynthesis that allows it to thrive in high heat and extreme drought conditions that would cause corn and wheat to wither and die in days. In the 21st century, amaranth has made a shocking comeback as a superweed. In the industrial soy and corn fields of the American Midwest, amaranth has evolved resistance to glyphosate, the world's most powerful chemical herbicide. It is literally breaking the machines of the industrial food complex, reclaiming the land that was stolen from it 5 centuries ago. It is as if the plant itself is exacting a biological revenge on the system that tried to erase it. So, why isn't amaranth in every grocery store? Why aren't we using it to solve the global protein crisis? Because the industrial food system is still built on the corn paradigm. Our entire global economy, from livestock feed to processed high-fructose corn syrup, is designed around low-quality starch. It is far more profitable for corporations to sell you a food-like substance made of corn that leaves you hungry for more than it is to provide you with a single bowl of amaranth that nourishes you for hours. We are still living under the dietary laws of the 16th century. We are still eating the slave crops of the colonial era, while the warrior grains of our ancestors remain labeled as weeds or health food niches. But the silence is breaking. We are seeing a massive shift toward ancestral eating and biological sovereignty. People are realizing that the chronic fatigue, the brain fog, and the metabolic disasters of the modern age are a direct result of the seeds we left behind. Reclaiming this power doesn't require a revolution in the streets. It requires a revolution on your plate. Amaranth is one of the easiest plants to grow. It requires almost no water, no synthetic fertilizers, and it produces thousands of seeds from a single flower head. You can grow it in a backyard, in a community garden, or in a pot on your balcony. When you grow amaranth, you are participating in an act of historical justice. You are growing the grain that was once worth more than gold. You are consuming the same complete protein and squalene that fueled the builders of the pyramids and the warriors of the sun. Every time you choose an ancient grain over a processed starch, you are reclaiming a piece of your biological heritage. You are signaling to your body that it is time to move beyond the survival mode of the starch dweller and into the thriving mode of the warrior. This isn't just about nutrition. It's about the clarity of mind that comes when your brain is finally given the essential amino acids it has been craving for generations. Imagine a world where our fields were once again purple and gold with amaranth instead of the pale yellow of industrial corn. Imagine a society where our health was built on a foundation of complete proteins and life-extending antioxidants rather than cheap sugars and inflammatory oils. The story of amaranth is a warning. It shows us how easily a population can be manipulated by controlling its food supply. But it is also a story of incredible hope. It proves that the earth provides everything we need to be strong, healthy, and independent, if only we have the courage to look past the modern narrative. You have a choice. You can continue to fuel your body with the starch of the past, or you can rediscover the forbidden strength of the ancients. Will you keep eating the grain of the compliant, or are you ready to reclaim the harvest of the warriors? The golden grain is waiting. It is time to bring the illegal seed back into the light. It is time to heal the soil, heal our bodies, and finally close the circle that was broken 500 years ago. The ancestors left us the map. It's written in the DNA of the seeds that wouldn't die. All we have to do is plant them.